Yo, what's up? Welcome everyone to my realm, and there is a staggeringly low amount of you guys. Wow. I mean, like, it's really not that deep. I kind of knew there wasn't going to be, like, a lot of y'all just because I'm new here. Come on. No, you guys don't know me, and the funniest thing is probably some of y'all looking around like, where Crispy at? No, he not here. I'm sorry. You guys, though, and let's truly be thankful for that. But why are you guys here, though? That's a really good question. I'm so glad one of y'all took the time to ask that. Here's the thing. I am an otherworldly being who resides within an extra-dimensional realm that exists outside of time and space. I am a sorcerer of eldritch proportions and have been warlock to things that even I can barely comprehend. I have seen and experienced and done pretty much everything, and that is exactly why I be so bored out of my mind. You see, the funny thing is, for a thing like myself to exist in the state that it does and in the place that it does, it needs an immense amount of arcane power and tricks up its sleeve. This I have. That is not the issue. The issue is the fact that I've gained so much knowledge and grown so powerful to the point where I'm basically my own deity, even though I'm technically not a god. Very cool. Only problem is I can't magic away my neurodivergence, on account of me being, for all my arcane gifts, very mortal. So let me put this into perspective. You're just lying there on your bed, looking up at the ceiling with your glazed over eyes, with your 7 blunt in between your fingers, and a bag of chips on your chest, right? Nirvana's playing in the background, and you are bored beyond what should be conceivably possible. And you have one thought. I should make a YouTube channel, and then you do that. So the real reason you guys are here is because I ran out of weed, and I'm entirely too bored to let you leave. Well, that, and I did a ritual to summon you guys here. Hi, I'm Orc Flesh. What poppin', everybody? It has yet to be your boy here, back with the, this is the most YouTuber intro ever, oh my god. Anyways, how is everyone doing? I'm just gonna assume y'all doing well. Yeah, probably not, but I'm assuming you are. But yeah, no, seriously, the amount of times I was supposed to already have recorded this video and posted it is ridiculous. I can kill a great old one, but I can't remember to record. This ADHD, bro. I'm a nerd, so I like tabletop RPGs. I'm also a bit of a yapaholic, so I like talking about them. I also like talking about assholes. And what better place to find assholes than Reddit? That's right, fam, I'm treating y'all to a trip to RPG horror stories because nobody else has ever done this before, and I pride myself in my originality. Either way, I got some stories for y'all, so I hope you like them, and without further ado, kick back, relax, and get some snacks. If you want to, get some coffee, some tea, or if you're about it, some Hennessy, and let's get into the video for today. Alright, so we're gonna start with a little tame story. Not something too bad, because what type of guy would I be if I threw y'all in the deep end when y'all just started swimming? I mean, come on. So your boy Dr. Gunslinger posted, player only speaks in say what now? Are you the underscore? I have to say the underscore. Okay, but like why though? Okay. Dr. underscore Gunslinger, better, posted, player only speaks in references and pop culture. This is not exactly a horror full-on experience, just a mild frustration that I like to share. Currently in a game that I'm loving. The world is deep and rich with lore, characters, and lots of food. Wait, why food specifically? What are y'all playing? Dungeon Meshi? Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs? Food Wars? Let me stop. I play a paladin with high charisma, very talkative, having fun with it. There is another player who is a pretty cool guy, to be honest. He has lots of love for fantasy and is polite. He has one issue though. This brother does not know how to speak without making it a meme or a reference. These include, but are not limited to, SpongeBob lines, memes that range from 1 to 20 years old, goddamn, more SpongeBob lines, singing songs that are only popular in meme formats, and, you guessed it, even more SpongeBob lines. It wasn't really all that bad at first, but it got very grating. Our DM asks often if we have any questions around the specific scene or whatever, and without fail, he will always respond very loudly, "Is mayonnaise an instrument?" Followed by no one laughing and the DM going, "Nope, not an instrument." She doesn't seem to be irritated with him like I am, and I don't know the group well enough to ask the others if they're bothered by it. Yeah, nah, I get you on that. That social anxiety be hitting like crazy. Anyway, I also worry to do so because I don't want to cause drama or break up the group. This seems to be the only way for him to speak because he is often quiet at the table otherwise, waiting for a chance to say nice to every time I mention I have 69 silver pieces. You don't got like more money? Damn, you broke as hell. I try to prompt RP from him even by asking his character questions. These are usually short and also made into a meme. I ask one day, "Hey, is your character religious?" He responds, "I have the power of God and anime on my side." This is not an answer. He then says, no, his character is indeed not religious. I do not understand it. What would you recommend I do to preserve my sanity and, more importantly, the group? I don't want to hurt his feelings or anyone else's. Aw, look at you with your social intergroup drama. How adorable. But yeah, anyway, yeah, real talk though, I'd say just talk to the DM and be like, "Hey, so there's this thing I have." Or talk to him and be like, "Hey, is it okay you can just do this less?" I have been on literally every single side of the situation you are in as a DM and as a player. I've been the dude who the player went to, as well as the dude who had to go to the player. I also have been the DM who had to witness all of it. But yeah, basically just talk. Just talk. Just conversate. Like, communicate and shit, and if that doesn't work, then just leave. Sometimes you just straight up don't vibe with a person. There exists plenty of people who others dislike, not because they did anything wrong, not because they're genuinely bad people who deserve to be disliked, but simply because their personalities just do not mesh. And yeah, that's just gonna happen sometimes. D&D is a social activity, so it only stands that social problems are probably gonna happen. So yeah, don't trip about it, because as you said, it's really not that deep. Best case scenario, you continue the game and he fixes the thing. Worst case scenario, you find another game and everyone is happy. I feel your pain, buddy. I have my own fair share of interpersonal social group drama, or social drama, period. Especially with that last D&D game that I'm not gonna get into because only very, very few people get the luxury of me trauma dumping on them, and you guys are not prepared to know my lore. Anyway, next story. Alright, so the last story we were doing wasn't all that bad for real. So this one should be wannabe badass D&D player jerks off under the D&D table. Now, that has got to be one of the titles of all time. So this incident happened about 3 years ago. Me and my good friend, woman, oh no, just graduated high school, oh no, and started to go to this seedy-ish game shop, and it was full of neckbeards. Oh dear God. Oh yeah, nah, y'all cooked. You guys are, yeah, nah, y'all are cooked. Plenty of dudes making comments about how women don't belong in TTRPGs and making creepy comments about women, etc. Yeah, nah, that's GG's. I feel so bad for y'all. Well, eventually we found a decent DM to play D&D with. He was a bit of an edgelord, but very accommodating to women and new players. He had a campaign set up in this eldritch horror-esque world where rulers and magic wielders were gradually going insane. Cultists were expanding and the world was decaying. Our party began in a cave, fleeing from a collapsing town as marauding warlords conquered it. I was playing as a Leonin wizard. Hold on. Wait, those are the lion people, right? Hold on. Siri, those are the lion people, right?
Now kindly explain how the fuck I'm meant to know that shit.
I don't know, cause you Siri?
Okay, and you're chopped. I can state the obvious too. You're not special.
Look, hop all the way off my dick and just do what I told you.
Well, okay, first off, I can easily send your mom gooning material and text your ex that you miss her. You gon' lose that bass in your voice when you talk to me. Secondly, you the nerd here, why this shit my responsibility?
You acting like you can't just look it up.
So what I'm hearing is, you can look it up.
I mean,
So what I'm hearing is you can look it up.
I mean, yeah, but...
Bet him gone then.
What the hell? Yo, Siri? 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 Hello? Eat my entire purple ass, Siri. Okay, so I looked it up myself. Yeah, I was right. Let's get back to it. My friend was playing a tiefling barbarian. Two other players were playing halfling rogue and a half-orc cleric. And then there was this guy in his mid-50s with a leather vest, shades, and hair dyed jet black. He was also a massive edgelord, way more than the DM, and we already knew he had an attitude of, I'm the best D&D player. He played a Goliath wizard. Goliath wizard tried to act like he was bad at, wait, hold on, wait, I didn't even catch that. A Goliath wizard? Out of all the things you can, you know what? It doesn't matter. You can play whatever you want. It's a strange combination. Anywho, Goliath wizard tried to act like he was such badass, like he was such a badass, like massively overcompensating. He wanted to sort of prove he wasn't just a middle-aged neckbeard, even though he totally was. He just didn't have the look. He would, for example, be unreasonably difficult in negotiations or interactions with NPCs. He would go overboard on flirting with NPCs, or my friend who told him to fuck off in character repeatedly. Like this one time where he beheaded a cultist we were trying to interrogate. The party called him out on it, and he was all like, I grew up with real D&D. You grew up on 5e. Sit this one out. I hate it when people do that. Or this other time where he tried to accost and force himself on a church lady that insulted him and cursed him in the name of her God. Pause. Dear God. Okay, yeah, nah, that went to an entirely different direction. But you want to know the craziest thing about that is that it somehow gets crazier. Resume. In the name of her God, after he rolled a nat 1 on his seduction. This one led to a single and definitive warning from the DM that he would be kicked if he tries something like that again. No, like for real. I would do the exact same thing. Fuck no. What the hell? But fam, the real incident happened when he showed up drunk to a game. Okay, here we go, bro. He tried to seduce a local daughter of the Lord of the Land. You see, the game owner mentioned that the camera system was broken and made a joke along the lines of, please don't steal anything. So I guess the creep took this as the go ahead to jerk off under the table. He must have thought he was being subtle, cause he kept his pants on, but he was well rubbing himself using his hand underneath that table. The DM must have caught him as his in-game seduction attempts were failing, because after the session ended, he announced on Discord that he noticed him masturbating under the table. He said he didn't want to make a scene during the game or risk confrontation, but he informed the game store owner, and now he is banned from both the table and the store. And that was it. We never saw him again. We just continued playing after that, and the game got better. We eventually did pick up a new player, and he wasn't a total creep. So it seems he was indeed about that life, just not in the way he thought. So yeah, it shouldn't go without saying, don't do this. Especially the jerking off part. Like, the jerking off was, like, that was crazy as hell. Don't get it twisted, I'm on him on the misogyny and assholery, but I'm not gonna act like I didn't clock the gatekeeping also. Like, that pissed me off. And usually I say shit pissed me off just to be funny or just as a joke or something, but no, like, that actually pissed me off. Showing up drunk to a D&D game is also crazy, and I wish I could say it's something I only experienced in a Reddit story, but like I said, my lore is extensive. This guy was like a whole grown up doing this also. Like, bro, come on. acting all badass like we don't seriously put effort into pretending to be wizards on a weekend. This guy was moving like he from I'm 14 and this is deep. Like I said, grown-ass man, by the way. Really sucky you have to go through that, but hey, it's okay though, because y'all got a new player now, and according to you, he isn't a creep. Either way, I got another story for y'all, and this last one's a bit short and a bit lighthearted. You know, palate cleanser for the absolute nonsense that we just have to read. Okay, so this story by Earth Sarah Inda is titled "Your New PC Spawns in the Sky and Splatters Onto the Ground." What? That is the craziest way to start a campaign. I should not be laughing. So anyway, some 2 or 3 years ago, I saw someone start up a 13th Age 1E Living World or Westmarch server. The premise of the setting was essentially isekai. New PCs would simply appear somewhere in the world. I do not remember if they had their starting gear or were essentially naked. The twist here was that the isekai process was realistic in that there was no guarantee that the PCs would appear safely on the ground. The GM had each new PC roll on a comprehensive set of tables to determine whether they appeared in the sky or the sea, emerged in the earth, or yes, atop terra firma. There were rolls to determine height or depth and distance from the nearest settlement. Naturally, multitudes upon multitudes of new PCs simply died. No worries though, because the same player could simply try again with a new character, possibly with the exact same character sheet. It was very goofy in a morbid way. The GM must have been doing something right, because the server attracted plenty of players. I did not play myself though. That's it. It is just a small silly anecdote. You know what? Sometimes we need a small silly anecdote. I'd be tired of hearing stories about these creeps. But nah, real talk, let's touch on how creative that actually is though. Because what do you mean there's like a bunch of people just spawning in the ground, spawning in the sky, spawning in a terrace belly or some shit? Bro, you just imagine just hella people dying and your character just so happens to be the one who survives. That is actually a really cool premise for the start of an isekai campaign. Yeah, nah, I'm stealing this. You're right, that was pretty lighthearted and hilarious too, by the way. I actually have to re-record this a bunch of times because I couldn't stop laughing. Like, bro, I was on the floor cackling like it was bad. It probably wasn't even really that funny for real, but like I have a scuffed sense of humor, so it amused me. That's a dope ass DM, like WGM, bro. Not as much of a WGM as the GM from the last story, but still WGM nonetheless. My only thing is, why is this in RPG horror stories? Because like this is definitely a glory story if I've ever heard one. All right. I'm not complaining either way. I mean, I still got to read it and I still enjoyed myself. So, you know, all's good. I'm just a bit confused. But hey, a story's a story, and we're glad it's a good story at the very least. I see you've made it to the end. Well, since you have, thank you for watching this whole thing. I enjoyed making it, and I hope you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed making it. I'm most certainly going to do other types of content. Like, I love tabletop RPGs like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff and everything else, but I'm also going to talk about video games, movies, anime, fiction, so like books and all of that, and regular media. Games, media, fiction. That actually sounds catchy. That should go on a shirt. Thank you for watching. If you like this shit, then like that shit. And if you want to see more of me, be sure to subscribe, because this is not going to be my last video. And, yeah. This has been Orcflesh, and without further ado, be easy, and I'll see you in the stars.